Yeah, we're recording now. Okay, we'll go full screen and drop. Okay. Okay, let's begin. So again, the lesson is 3.3 error check-in. So make sure that you have the name, and then what is today? December 几号. What is today there, Yuna? December the 9th. So each note should have your title and then the date. All right, let's begin. In Unit 3, what is the topic of Unit 3 there, Carol? Can you, what was the very first thing we talked about? Have a look. Network. Yeah, it's about network, okay? So in Unit 3, we do have a test on Saturday. It's all about network. What is a network, Yuna? Have you heard about network? What is a network? Yeah, it's the internet. It's basically how you can connect computers together with the 线 or Wi-Fi. Okay? So a network is basically you have 一个电脑, 两个电脑, and you have a 线 or Wi-Fi. Okay? So the whole thing is with the internet. Today, we're going to be talking, the last class we talked about how we have different 线. We have serial and parallel. 对不对? Today, we're going to find some 偷, 小偷. When the data go between the two computers, sometimes we have a mistake, okay? And so that's what we're going to be learning in this lesson. It's called error checking, okay? So transmission errors is when you have a 小偷, when you transmit data from one place to another. Let's do a quick recall. What is the difference if you have 一个线 or you have many lines? What is the difference between the two transmissions there, Carol? From last class. What is the difference if I have one wire or two wire? One wire is 1 meter. Yeah, what is it called? It starts with an S. Serial data. And then if you have more than one line unit, can you look back in the notes? The last note, when you just came back, what is more than one line? It's called, starts with a P. No, you were here. She was here. Our last note, you weren't here? Oh, you weren't here. Sorry, Carol. What is the, sorry, you were way too long. You have to catch up. Yes, P stands for? Parallel. Okay? And sometimes when you have the 线 and you're sending the data, what kind of data can I send there, Yuna? Computers can only understand what language? Can they understand Chinese? What language can computers understand? Can they understand English? People don't. Computers don't understand English. They don't understand Chinese. What language do they understand? Danger. How to say danger in English? They can only understand ones and zeros. Tell me, what is this koyu? What is this language? Yes. They only understand binary. Binary is danger. Okay? So sometimes we can have some error if we have electrical interference. Okay? If for example, parallel transmission, they have some electric field. Okay? And sometimes when you have a little bit right here, if the 线 is 太近, he can actually change some data on the other 线. Okay, Carol, can you have a look? What is it called when I have electrons move and then it induces some data into my other line? What is that called? Can you look back in your notes? It's called cross what? Cross talk. Crosstalk is when you're sending data on 一个线 and then the 旁边线 it also changes. Okay? And there are basically 3 changes that can happen. We can have, let's say I want to send this data. Okay? And this is going on 一个线. But I have a 旁边线. And he has some data going the other way. He can actually, we have 3个头部. Maybe 一个 bit 变了. Okay? If you add a 1, we call this error. If we add data, this is 一个头部, 你可以写. We can also, if you have a 1 and the 1 变10, this is called to lose data. Right? For example, I 一个1变0 or 0变1, this is to add data. If something becomes a 0, it's loss of data. Okay? And so we call this a flip, like a flip bit. We have 2 different types of data that can happen about when you have 2 lines that are tight. If they're too close, some bits can add, some can be removed, and some data can change. Okay, the data can change there. Okay, so this is on your final exam. Carol, can you read this question out loud? Is that clear or is that big enough? Can you read it out loud? Yeah. Okay, explain what is a type of error that can happen when we send data. What can happen to some of the binary numbers? Let's write our answers. Tell me what can happen. Yeah, we could have an added error when 0 becomes a 1. Why does this happen there, Yuna? When can this happen? This can happen. Tell me when can this happen? There's so many different ideas. This could be the issue. We have similar issues. I want you to choose one. When can this happen? Yeah, when we have electrical interference. 举个例子, if we have 2线太近, if 2 wires are too close, they can have electrical interference. Or power surge, if 没电, maybe we have no power and then the E 变零 or something like that. There's so many answers there. So let's just write down one. Okay? An added error. When does it happen? How? Well, it can happen when, 你可以写, this is a 举个例子. This is an example of errors after transmission. Okay? This can happen when 2 wires are too close, which make electrical interference. Electrical interference. Okay? This can happen in parallel. 举个例子, I have 一个线, 2 wires. And then this is some data. Boop, 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 boop. But as this data is transmitting, it induces some interference in here. And then maybe this guy becomes a 1 instead of a 0. This is called add or lose data. Is this add or lose data? If you have a 零变一, is that adding data or losing data? You know? Losing? 零变一是加还是add or 减? If a 零变一, is this adding data or losing data? Yeah, this is called adding data. It means that my data 不一样. I have 多了一个 bit. If you 少了一个 bit, it's called lose data. Right? So that's an example of like a IT culture. Right? They'll ask you transmission tool, and you can say it's a error. It's like a foot bit, 零变一 or 一变零. You can add error or subtract error. And it usually happens in parallel transmission when you have 两个线, okay? Or 密电, or you have the power surge. There's so many reasons that can happen. Let's see if we're correct. 我们看一下. Data could be lost. This is the 答案. You can copy any one. Data is lost. Data could be gained or added. 可以丢东西, 可以加东西, right? Data could be changed. Any, 你可以随便写. These are all the 答案, right? Bits could be reassembled in the wrong order. We have this word called crosstalk. 你可以写 crosstalk, right? Data collision. 也是一个答案. 有很多答案. We have malware. Okay, so we just, 随便选, and then you can say add, subtract, anything like that. And so when we're studying, I'm going to give you some exam paper questions, and then this is the answer, so you can kind of get the idea of what the answers will look like. Okay, I am recording this, so if you ever see a man or something, you can also watch the video later. I will put this onto Teams. Right. Error checking. We know that we do have toll. We have mistakes. So the thing is, I must check. What does checking mean there, Yuna? In Chinese, how to say checking? 检查? Yes, you must see 如果有一个错误. And we have 5. We have echo check. We have parity check. We have digit check. We have checksums. And we have automatic repeat request. We have, 今天 I'm going to show you 5个方法 how to find the 错误 in the signal. Okay, right now你不需要 copy. I will show you 一个. I'll show you one at a time. You just 看一下. Okay? I'm going to show you one at a time and give you more tissue information, okay? So just 等一下. So the very first one, 你可以写. I want you to write in your notebook. The very first check is called echo check. Do you know this word echo? What does echo mean? Echo is when you have a 声音, you say hello, and you hear hello, 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 hello. This is called echo. Is when your data comes back. This is you send and then it goes back. This is called echo. Now, we can determine if the data is correct. If you have 两个电脑, you have 2 computers, you send the data 10110. How do I know that the computer got the correct data? Well, the computer will say, hey, I got some data. I'm going to send the exact same data back to you. 10110. And this computer will say, is this the same? If it's the same, what does it mean? Carol. If the data comes back and it's 一模一样, what does that mean? If I talk to you and you talk back to me and you say the same thing, does that mean that there's a toll or 没有toll? It's 没有toll. If the data is 一模一样, it means, what does it mean there, Yuna? I forgot. If it's the same, what does it mean? Is there a mistake? It means no mistake. No error. 对不对？但是 let's say there was we have some interference, and I send the data and I give you some data that's 不一样. Then that means there was a toll in the transmission. This is the most 简单 check. I send the data, you send the data back. I will compare if it's 一模一样, it means 没有错误. It means no mistake. Okay? 写好了吗? Echo, you don't need to copy, you just say echo check is you send back the data. If it's the same, means no error. That's it. Do not copy everything. You can draw a little 图片. You can draw a little picture, okay? Like 两个 PC, boop, 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 boop. And then you just say, whoop, you send the data, and you receive the data. If they're the same, just right, it means no error. Okay? And this is called echo check. Cool. This is the most standard check. It's just you reply. Okay, number 2. Can I go to number 2? Number 2. The second 想法, it's a little bit more complicated. We have a little bit of 数学. It's called parity bits. Now, in this idea, if I send 8 bits, for example, I'm going to have some extra data at the 前面. The first bit, or the most significant bit, we call parity bit. And this data, either we put a 0 or we put a 1. And this right here is my data that I sent. Okay? So how does this work? This uses a little bit of math. Okay? I'll tell you how it works. Let's say I'm sending the data 10110. 10110 is my data. 对不对? Now we have 2 想法. One is called even parity. Even parity. And on the culture, mostly it's the even parity. The other one is we have odd parity. Do you know what even means? What does even mean, Yuna? Tell me an even number. In math, tell me an even number. Even number. Tell me any even number. Please, 随便. 2. Right. For example, even numbers are like 2, 4, 8, 等等. Right? Odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 等等. Right? And so when you look at this, you have to 看一下, is this even parity or odd parity? Normally, 平常, it is even. Okay? Mostly it's even, but not always. I need to go big screen here. Whoop. Okay? Now, if it's even parity, here's the idea. Computers use either odd or even parity. When sending a byte of data, 1 bit is used as a parity bit, usually the very first bit. Okay? This bit is set to 1 or 0 to make the total number of bits even or odd. Okay? So, watch this. The idea is first you have to count how many ones are in the data. How many ones are in the data? Carol? How many ones are in the data? I have 3. 1, 2, 3. 3, this is a odd number. Agree or disagree? And so an even parity means I have to have all the bits to be even numbered. And so therefore, I have to change this to E. Because 3 is odd, but if I add one more, it's equal to 4, which is even. So if this was using the even parity, it just means that this bit here has to make all the other ones to be an even number. If it was odd parity, I would just put a 0 here because it's already 3. Okay? So there's 2个想法. One is to make the total number of ones in the data transmitted as an even number. The other idea is it's odd. Let's do some 举个例子. Okay? Here, I need your eyes open. If I'm using odd parity, so the very first thing is to read the question. I'm going to use odd parity. Okay? Should this number be a 0 or a 1? What do you think? How many bits are in my data? Can you count how many ones? No? How many ones do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 ones. If I'm using odd, is 4 an odd number? Is 4 an odd number? 不是. I need to add one more bit. Agree or disagree? And that will be equal to 5. And so, should the parity bit be E 还是0? Carol? Should the parity be a 0 or 1 to make this odd parity? The total number of ones must be odd. How many ones do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Is 4 an odd number? It's not. It's even. And so I need to add 1. So should this number be a 0 or 1? Yes. It's 1. Does that make sense there, Yuna? If it was even parity, the total would have to be, it would be 0. Okay? So the very first thing is you have to think, is the total number have to be even number of ones or odd? And so you have to look at the question. Okay? But mostly it's even parity, but sometimes it's odd. Let's do other jugalize. Okay, this one is for Yuna. Let's read the question. What would the... Okay, you read the question there, Yuna. Okay, you look, we're using even parity. That means we need to have an even number. Okay, figure out, is this a 1 or a 0? What do I need to put? How do you know? You're going to put a 1? Let's have a try. We have 1, 2, 3. It's 3. 3 is not even, so we have to add 1. So you added 1 here. Check. You are correct. Very good. Okay, Carol. Your turn. Given the parity bits, this is 不一样的想法, this is odd parity. Does this become E 还是0? This is yours, Carol. Read the question, and then tell me if it's a 1 or a 0. It's a 1. You shooting man? Let's have a try. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4. 4 is not odd numbered, so we have to add a 1 to the parity bit. You're correct. You're both okay. Did you just write a little bit the different idea about even odd parity? Najida? What? Wait. So the third one. In your notebook, 第三题, we have a total of 5 different shama. I want you to write number 3. I just want you to write check digits. Okay? So in your notebook, you should have the arga jubilizit. Yeah, you have it. Now, disati. Number 3 is called check digits. I'm going to explain what it is. What is check digit? Check digit is used, 你需要写 in your notebook, used for barcodes. Barcodes. Okay? I want you to write down that part. You don't need to copy this. Barcodes are called ISBN. ISBN. And I'm going to show you a picture, and after you'll be like, oh, 我懂了,我看过了. Because barcodes are used when you go shopping. Do you girls go shopping? You'll see that sometimes they have a little card and they go beep, beep, beep in the food market. How do they go beep, beep, beep? It's actually determine the binary number. And I will show you 这个想法. Okay? So check digits is used for books. It's used for barcodes when you go shopping. And you've probably seen this before. I want you to put up your hand. Have you ever seen a barcode look like this when you go shopping? Have you seen this, Carol? Have you ever seen a barcode like that? How does it work? Well, it does some 书写, it does some calculation. How does it work? Well, each of these different lines, we get different numbers. Agree or disagree? Do we have different numbers down here? And so when you go, it's going to give you the ISBN number here. These numbers are imuya. Agree or disagree? So when you beep, we get the number for the product. Well, we need to use an algorithm. Check digit. Is it called check digit or check sum? 我忘了。第三题叫什么? Check digits. Okay? So check digits, it uses a math 书写 algorithm. Do you want to take off your coat? Are you too hot, Carol, or are you okay? If you want to drink some water, that's okay. It uses a math algorithm using a mod. Okay? Do you know what mod means? If I mod R, this is called modulus. This means true and give the true rule, the remainder. 举个例子. If I have 9 mod 2, what is this 结果 up there, Carol? If I do 9 mod R, what is the 结果? Do you know MOD? What does mod mean? Mod means to divide, and what is the remainder? So what you do is 2 into 9. Okay? 2 goes into 9 how many times? We have 4. This is going to be 8 minus, this is 1. This is called the remainder. You know how to say remainder? You should. Okay? And so 9 mod 2, 9 divide mod 2, the remainder is 多少? The remainder is 1. This is going to be the product. This is the answer. It's the remainder. How to say remainder in Chinese? I don't know. Ru shu? Yu shu. Okay? So the idea is first we have a weight. These are just random numbers. And then I 10. 5 times 1, we get 5. 0 times that. This is all 10. We get this. Agree or disagree? The next thing is we add all the numbers together. So 5 plus 0, blah, 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 we add them all together, we get 49. Okay? And then this is where the remainder comes. We do mod 10. Mod 10. If I have 49, 10 goes into 49, how many times? What is going to be the remainder? You know, what is going to be the remainder? It's going to be 9. Okay? And then we just subtract the mod, whatever you divide, minus the remainder. Oh, sorry. Minus the modulus. And then the 结果 is E. And so this is the way when you go shopping, you scan, it does the 出血, it does the divide, finds that, and then subtract it. And then if it's the correct number, it's okay. It means 没有错误. Can you write that down? Check digit uses a mod 出血 to determine error bit. Okay? And if we get the 一样的结果, if we get the correct math, it means that the numbers are correct. So, and it's used for this. What is this called there, Yuna? This black line when you go shopping? It's called bar code. Okay? Can you show this one? Can I come back? Or see that? Okay? We're almost there, but you need to maybe stand so you can keep awake. Do you have any? What does mod mean there, Carol? Mod 是什么东西 ？MOD. It's divide and the 整数. How to say? The remainder after division. So, you know, 怎么说? How to say? It's the 整数. How to say remainder? 余数. Okay? Modulus is the 余数 of the true root of the division. 对不对? Can I go to next? You just need to write the red. You don't need to copy this. You just need to make back. Check digits uses a math algorithm like a modulus to determine the final answer. Okay? And we're going to do some practice, and it's used for barcode. Barcode is the 单词你需要知道. Okay? It's used for barcodes to determine if the data is 变了 or if there's a toll. If there was a mistake in this, let's say I put 10, I'm not going to get E at the 结果. If there was 一个错误 in my 书写, my 结果 it will not be E. 对还是不对? Okay? And so this is to see if there's a toll in my data. 是书写的方法. It's called check digits.
So mode is the.
It means the remainder of a division. The remainder of a division. Mod means to 你需要 it's 9除2 and then what is the remainder? Not the 4, it's the R. Okay? It's the remainder. It's the remainder. Any question? You just got that? Checked it down? All right. Yuna, can you read question number 5? So how does this 想法 do? What do we do? It uses a math 书写. You don't need to copy it. You just 看一下, okay? It's a math algorithm. Do you know what an algorithm is? It's the 想法, right? It's a math algorithm that multiplies by a weight, then sum, and then it uses modulus. Uses mod. This should mod. It uses a mod. Julie, is it mod 10 or something like that, right? Then the result is subtracted from the modulus number. Will give me a result, okay? This method will show if there's any mistake in my 书写, the result will be different. And so I can see if there was no mistake, you're gonna expect the value. But if the value is different, then we know what error is, okay? We know the expected value. After doing a whole bunch of 书写, we know what we should get. If the value is 不一样的, is not the same, it means there's an error in the transmission. Okay? When you say, if that is not 1, for example, if I do a mistake and it's not 1, it means I did some, one of these numbers are wrong. So maybe this one is 4 or something like that, and we do the math. We won't get the 一样的结果. And then I need to resend the data. Okay? So that's kind of like what a test would look like. You just kind of write your idea down. It's a math algorithm. It uses modulus, okay? Uses 10, all that stuff. Let's see what they say. Okay? A check date is calculated for barcode. Oh, we'll actually say barcode, right? It's an algorithm. It's a 书写 algorithm. For example, modulus 11 or 10. You can just write whatever. And after it does some 书写 calculation, and we can check the digit. If the digit doesn't match, it means there's a code. That's the basic idea. It just means that there's a mistake from here. So that was kind of what we wrote. Okay. Second last one, number 4. I want in your notes, write down checksum. Okay, this is other sending data. We have other tool. It's called checksum. How we can find the mistakes. What is a checksum? Checksum is similar to check digit, but what happens is you're going to send the data with the transmission. Okay? And an easy one is, let's say I'm sending some data, and I have 1, 2, 3 bytes. Okay? This is my data. This is all the data. Okay? What a checksum is when I send the data, I can add some data here. I have 1, 2, 3 bytes, so I'm going to say that there are 3 bytes of data. And so this is a sum of bytes sent. And so when I get the data, I can say, hey, let's say I lose 1 byte of data. But he said, I gave you 3个东西, but I only get 2 things. And so I know that there's a total. I need to resend the data. Okay? This is called check the sum. Did I have 3 things sent, but you only got 2. Therefore, we have a total. Okay? So you don't need to write down all this, but that's the 想法. Can you you just go check sum. adds data in the transmission that tells you the sum of the data sent. Okay? Here's a little picture. 举个例子. Simple checksum example. The number of bytes sent. 1, 2, 3, 4 bytes. Agree or disagree? And so I'm going to say, hey, I'm sending the data here. This is binary 1, 2, 4. There's 4 bytes. That's the sum of the data sent. And then the PC here, he's going to look at this byte here and say, hey, I need to have 4 bytes. Did I get it? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 stuff, so it means okay. If it's not the same, then that means I have a code. I have a mistake. I need to resend the data. Okay? So you just write down what is checksum. In your own words, can you tell me, Yuna, what is checksum? Yeah, it's a sum added onto the sent data to show how much stuff you sent or something like that. Okay, let's write it down. It's data added onto the sent data to show the sum of items sent. This is a basic example. Okay. If we have a missing total, then we will have to resend the data. Can you think of any flaw or weakness in this method? Is this a good error checking method, or can this have some mistake there, Carol? What do you think? Do you think the Shapa, is it, let's say, I have a question for you, Carol. Let's say I have this data, but these 2 bits become Ling Ling. Will this idea fix and know if this data change? What do you think? Carol? Let's say I send 3 bytes, but these 2 become 0, 0. Will a simple checksum be able to find this code? What do you think? Just go, Yuna, what do you think? Will this Shangfa be able to find those 2 small zeros that change? What is he checking? Is he checking soil the dongqi inside each? He's only checking what? The sum of what? We're just sending how many bytes? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I change this data, will he know that there's a total? He will not know. 他不知道. So this is a problem, is he will only 知道 if a whole thing 没了. If a whole thing disappeared, then he will say, hey, I only got 3个东西. I only got 3 bytes, but I expect 4. And so this Shama only works for byte-sized data. It doesn't work for a bit, right? Or 2 bits there. So let's put some problem with this Shangfa in your notebook. What is the Iga Wenti? What is the problem there, Carol? 这个想法有一个很大的问题. What is the problem? He can only find out what type of total. Can he find out if 一个 bit 变了? No. So he only works for big data. He can't find the small total, only big problem. Okay, 我们写 in your notebook. The what we call this? The flaw. 它有一个小错误. The flaw with this method is it can only find big errors. E.g., you lost a byte of data. You cannot, if it 就是第一个 bit 变了，他不知道 he still won't know. Okay, can you write down 一个 flaw with this 想法? He's good for finding big mistakes. It's an easy idea. You just send the checksum like 我送你4个东西，你接了3个 ，OK, you have 2. But I send you 4个东西 but inside that little package, it changed. You don't know about that. Check digit would be better because he did the algorithm and does the 书写. So we have many different 想法 when we send data on the internet. Right? When we send data on the internet, you're chirping or you're eating it, they encode into packets and we'll send you. And they say, oh, do I have it? Sometimes when you listen to music, it goes kind of like garbled. That means there's like old data. All right. Can I go to the last one? All right. Last one we have ARQ, automatic repeat request. 你写第5题 in your notebook, and we'll talk about what is he. Automatic repeat request. 你写 in your notebook. This is 第5个. This is the 5th method of finding about the data pool. Okay, what is this idea? Well, the automatic request we call ARQs. You can just write ARQ, 是一样的 ARQ 的想法. Basically, computers will send some data, and then they will line up. They will stop and wait. And then what they're going to do is say, hey, I got the data back. Okay? So what happens is, on the internet, it's going to send a package of data. And then I'm going to wait, email, and there'll be a ping that comes back to me. And we call that acknowledgement. That means that the computer on the other side of the internet received my message. Okay? If I do not receive the data in a specific time, I know that there must be a toll. Maybe the xian is broke because he 他没有理会我. He didn't reply to me, so must have some mistake. Because I talked to him, I wait 1分钟, 他没回来, 没回答. This is used in the phone. 你的手机 uses this idea. Your phone sends message to the tower. And then if it gets a ping, we can get the message. Sometimes not. And then we talk to him again. We wait a 时间. Oh, it's broke. Okay, we have to talk again. Like that. Okay? So, 我们写 ARQ 是什么东西? I'm gonna... You know how to summarize what is ARQ? 这个想法干什么? What does he do? In your own words. What does he do? 对. ARQ is we send the data and wait a specific time for a reply. For an acknowledgement, a reply. There's a specific time, 举个例子, 2 milliseconds or 10 milliseconds, what have you. And then if no reply, 如果 no reply, it means we have lost data. If I have lost data, I'm going to resend the data. Okay? I'll try that again. It's called ARQ. Cool. We're gonna take 3 minutes. Can you girls go get something to drink, go for a little walk, try to wake up Carol, and then when you come back, I have the shop right here. You can look at the PPT, you can watch the notes there, and this is the homework for today. Okay, this will be due on Friday. Okay, so our homework is. Did you get a little homework book there, Yuna?
I asked my community more.
Okay. The homework is 3.3 worksheet. This is due Friday. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording now.